As a live sound engineer, the work starts maybe a week before the actual concert. Nowadays with social media, everybody, as soon as they get on stage, they want to post something right away. The drummer will not reach the drum kit till the time he has posted something that he is there.
Okay.
The reason being, I have heard this, that they are also taught stage discipline, which is completely lacking in India.
Welcome, Nitinji. I have a very simple sounding question for you. Whenever the musicians go on stage, they see a sound engineer in front of his is a mixer, and they want the best possible sound from him. My question to you is this: that what kind of preparation you as a sound engineer have to do before standing up in front of the musicians?
Yeah, actually, as a live sound engineer, the work starts maybe a week before the actual concert.
Wow.
So it starts with confirmation of date, then it starts with getting vendor's name, then I make a tech rider basically, which has all the details about what I need, what the band needs. That changes with the artist I'm traveling with, it changes with the music that is there. If it's a classical gig, the tech rider is different. If it's a rock gig, it's a different, requirements are different.
Right.
Depending on the band, there's a tech rider made which has the back line, which is like drum kit, keyboards, stands, notation stands, etc. Amps, all that as backline, and the audio equipment, meaning what kind of mics I need, what mixer I want, what kind of system I want, all those details are mentioned in a tech rider. So first thing as a sound engineer for me is to check that the vendor has received the correct tech rider. It starts from there. Because as a freelancer, I'm working with 4 different artists. And there are different tech riders made as per the requirement. So many times it happens that for a particular show, a tech rider is made and that is forwarded. So the first thing I have to check is the correct tech rider has gone to the person. The second thing is to know that correct equipment is there, whether it is indoor show, outdoor show. So that is basically discussed with the vendor that what kind of show it is.
Okay.
Depending on that, what is the kind of equipment he's going to give. I am comfortable with certain equipment. Like for example, a mixer is where my inputs go. So I have to know the mixer inside out for me to respond quickly.
Okay.
So there are a couple of mixers where I am used to. There are certain mixers which I am not comfortable with. I have to find a way to get a mixer which I am comfortable with.
Correct.
But in certain situations, not necessarily I get where I go early to know the mixer, to learn the mixer, to save it in the RAM and work. So that's the first part of the story. Second is the day of the concert. When actually the artist comes, on that same day, the vendor starts setting up the rig. A rig is set up. The speakers are set up, the wedges are set up, the lines are done, and all that is done as per the tech rider. Maybe I go few hours before to check that everything is in the right place.
Few hours before the sound check time.
Few hours before the first artist walks in.
Okay.
That is also staggered. The first artist, why I say first artist, in a band situation, everything, all the artists come staggered so that nobody has to wait longer. So I'll come to that later. But basically all the lines are working, all the speakers are working. It is sounding correct. But I have normally carry a couple of songs which I know how they sound on our different systems. So I'll put in a song, I'll check that everything is right. If not, then I'll have to get into an analyzer and finding the fault. But now normally the equipment that is available in India.
One sec. So you mean to say that you carry your whatever the testing songs, proper favorite songs, to see the basic sound system is functioning properly.
Yeah, the high frequencies, mid frequencies and low frequencies are all working and in the correct balance to each other. So it is sounding correct to my ears. Then that is one part of it. Second part of it is the coverage of the area. So if the system is flying, it is flying in a particular angle to cover a certain distance. The levels are set according to that. But if the stage is like 60 feet, the people VIP are sitting right in front of the stage.
Correct.
And they will not hear anything. Because there's an angle in which a speaker throws.
Correct.
So there's 110 degrees on each side. So there's a triangle which is created in front of the stage where the VIP sit. Is a no audio zone, no correct audio zone. Actually, to cover that, there is something called as center fills which come. So center fills will fill that area. Then if the hall or the place is longer, then you need delay stacks. There are speakers which are kept behind so that the person behind at the end of the hall should be able to hear it without me increasing the making the PA loud.
Loud. Okay.
So it's basically the coverage at equal level.
Okay.
Or everybody sitting in the auditorium should be able to hear the concert at correct level.
Okay.
And the correct frequency. So that is setting up the PA. But nowadays with the equipment that is available with presets, amplifier presets which come from the companies, the sound vendors investing in better equipment,
right,
and hiring studio system engineers. So my work as a sound engineer is reduced in a sense. Cut to 10 years back, I had to do all this.
Okay.
So now I don't have to do that much. When I go, I just basically check that it is, if at all I need to do a little bit of EQ, that's all I do. Second thing comes is the feedback, which is the major problem in a
all those whistles and booms and move
and where and all that if they happen during a concert, that is the only time the audience knows that there is a sound engineer, and that is the time everybody will look at you. So that is the time, where is this man? Who is grading this? So otherwise, if the concert is going on smoothly, nobody even looks at us. So we are in the background.
Right.
So nobody looks at us for us to be sure that nobody looks at us. We have to see that there is no feedback.
Okay.
So we create a situation by putting loud microphone when nobody is there. By putting loud microphone, creating a situation where the feedback might come.
Okay.
And finding those frequencies and reducing them. Cutting them from the monitors.
These such frequencies will change from day to day.
Yeah.
Every situation is different.
The thing is, a live show is a different. Everything changes. The difference between a studio and a live situation is everything is controlled. So the same microphones, same positioning, same speakers I hear it on.
Correct.
So everything is controlled. Whereas live, every day is a different day. There are different speakers. There are different makes of speakers. There are different angle speakers. There will be stage at different sizes. The room will have different acoustics. The auditorium will have different acoustics. If it's an open air show, it is different. If it's a banquet hall, which is a nightmare, is different. In an auditorium, it is different. So every day is a different day. So according to the venue, we set the system up.
So there is no golden
no. There's no formula.
Stick, no formula.
No formula. Absolutely.
Every performance.
Yeah.
So in certain sense, a musician can get away with performing the same set in different cities.
Yes.
But the sound engineer cannot. He has to still go there early.
Yeah.
And do all this what you told me right now.
And these are the things. But and human, I have to work with different manpower everywhere.
Okay.
Knowing different languages. When communication with them getting work done is also a task.
Correct.
So that additionally, luckily I know a few languages, so I get away with West Bengal and Gujarat shows where I can speak their language. So I get work done. When I go to South India, I am absolutely clueless. So it is mostly sign language which I have to use. Plus English and sign language.
Yeah.
So that works. So this is actually the basic preparation even before the first artist comes. So before the first artist comes, if it is a band, the drum kit is set to the correct position. I have to see that.
Let me just ask you one thing, that you have done all this, you are ready and you are just waiting for the first artist to come.
Yes.
So let's talk about a band situation where there is a drummer, bassist, guitar player, keyboard player and vocalist and maybe a couple of more tabla, dholak depending on the band, violin, flute, whatever. So what do you prefer? What is the sequence in which the sound check should go?
Basically the sequence, there's logic to it. One is the drum kit. The drummer takes maximum time to set up.
Okay.
Because he has
too many things.
And I as a sound engineer have to check too many mics.
Lot of
number of instruments or number of mics. So that takes maximum time in a sound check. Like half an hour also can go into a drummer coming in, setting it up, and me starting the drum sound and finally giving him what he wants.
Okay.
So the first person I always call to a sound check, if it's a band, is a drummer.
Okay.
So he comes while I am setting up the mixer. I am not come to that. I have to set up the mixer. I have to set up the mixer when I have to write names of which channel individual.
Which channel is coming
what are the auxes, where is the monitors going, what is the PA left right levels, what are the plugins I need, what is the effects I need, reverb, delays,
Right.
compressors, basic stuff. I have to keep the mixer ready before the band comes.
Okay.
So by the time I'm doing this, the stage is getting set up. The moment I finish this, then I check all the lines.
Okay.
And by the time the drummer comes, he starts setting up his, because every drummer has his own way of setting up the drum kit.
Correct.
With his height, with his style of playing. So he takes little time. A cymbal goes this side, he goes that side, up and down, all that. So then my drum kit sound check starts.
Okay. Okay. So after drum kit, then
Normally the logical is to bass. The drum and bass go together.
Right.
So it is the bass that is checked.
Okay.
The second thing. Then
Okay.
keys are checked. Then it is nothing specific. Depends on which band I am working with, who is ready. Then I start with that. It's not very specific. But then will be guitarist. If it is a flute player, then flute player, acoustic guitar, all that.
Correct.
The vocalist is the last one who comes on stage.
Okay.
So by the time a vocalist comes, everything musically is all balanced. Because it's not just the PA sound I'm doing. I am making each artist listen to the other artist at the level he wants.
Right.
So basically, I am doing one mix for the audience, and I am doing maybe 7 mixes on stage.
Oh, okay.
For individual person. Individual person needs to hear his instrument at a particular level, and rest of it at a particular level. In addition to that, they need this coming on this side, that coming on that side. So they are comfortable in where they are standing. For them to perform correctly, they need to hear everything the way they want. So, as the individual artist,
So
I am catering
you
to.
mean to say that on the stage, the sound is completely different
Yes.
than what the audience hears.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is
The
no
drummer
connection.
will hear something different because you mentioned
Yes.
7 different
Yes,
mixes.
yes.
So drummer will hear something different, like
Yes,
he might want tabla loud because
Correct,
he wants to be
correct. Or click.
sing.
If
Click
there's a
or
click,
whatever.
so he'll be
so
doing
and
all
that way, like now the guitar player will want something different, and you are that is your responsibility as a sound engineer to provide that.
Yes. Yes. That is what mostly is happening during a sound check. I am making the artist comfortable on stage for them to perform better during the gig. If I can make them comfortable, they'll perform better. If they are not happy with what they hear, then either their syncopation problems happen because they can't hear the other percussionist, or vice versa.
Right, correct.
Or they don't get the reference. The vocalist doesn't get the reference for singing.
Correct.
So everybody has to be comfortable at their individual levels. So I am constantly listening to their mixes from here, whatever is going, and I am doing changes during the sound check.
Okay. What do you think the musicians on stage should expect from you? Because I have some situations I have seen that a lot of times I see that probably the musicians, I get a feeling that he is not sure what he wants.
I come across
for whatever reasons.
There are 2 kinds of musicians. One is a person like Sivamani, who is a pleasure working because he understands his instruments so well, tuning his instrument. I mean that is the maximum I have done, like 32 inputs coming to me from one person. And the setup time is 3 hours. I take 1 hour to mic everything and check the lines, and then half an hour of sound check. And half an hour because I am working with him for last 12 years. So that communication language is set up.
Right.
So when he says something, he gets it instantly. So whatever he needs. If the time duration is reduced, then the artist moves to the next instrument. And if the artist knows exactly what he wants and he can communicate that to me in whatever language, and I understand that, the sound check time is reduced. I have seen sound check going on for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours because there's no right communication. It's sounding boxy, it's sounding cracky, it's sounding jittery, it's whatever, all kinds of words are used. So which we have to understand and do what he wants and see to it that he's got what he wants. He's comfortable.
So you mean to say that a musician, however he is comfortable or proficient in playing his instrument, may not be able to express it properly, what he wants or what is happening on stage.
Correct, absolutely. Because see, there are not just what he hears here on his in-ears or on a wedge. There's stuff happening acoustically also around him. So there's a guitar amp on his side which is very loud, and he is asking me to increase the snare because he can't hear snare or he can't hear vocals. The reason is that guitar amp. So I have to keep that also. So what I have been doing for many years is, if there is a problem which I am not able to solve from here, I leave the console, I immediately go to the stage,
Okay.
Stand in his place and understand what the problem is. If that is not been able to communicate, he is not able to understand that guitar is gone loud. Or something like this, or a bass amp is loud, or the sub frequencies from PA are bleeding on stage.
Okay.
So there are lot could be there. Or acoustically, there is a certain frequency which is staying in that place. Like I have, for example, as I was telling, banquet halls are the worst because they are never made for a concert.
Okay.
And maximum concerts happen there. So I'll tell you one example. In Bombay, there is one banquet hall where the drummer sits, which is normally in the center of a stage. Right there is a dome on top of it. So acoustically, when the drummer plays a kick, it stays. No, it stays. Dum. So if it is doing that acoustically, technically I cannot do anything about it. What I can do is move the drummer to one side.
Okay.
Get him out of that space. You know, so when I start and that starts happening, I have to leave my console, go there, figure out what is happening and move in. Simply. Or if a drummer is asking for me and I am giving it to him, but he is not getting, he is still asking me. So either he is not getting my signal or there is some other problem. So first I will check through headphones that from here my signal is going. I will check that. Then I will ask the person on stage to check that whatever I am sending is coming to the receiver.
Okay.
There. Then I will check that his is on. I have seen musicians who don't put it on also. They'll come, I can't hear anything. Is the body pack on? I haven't checked. So right from there, so it is on. Okay. So that is a line I'll check that my signal flow. Now it is going from here so that he should be receiving. Then there is some other problem. What can it be? So I'll go on stage and check. So that is the time I go and check.
So you have to not only just turn some knobs left, right, or push faders up and down, which is very, very technical actually for the getting the correct sound, but you have to be a good communicator.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to be a very good
psychologist. I have to understand.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the mood of the artist?
Okay.
That also, because his mood will affect how he communicates to me.
Okay.
How irritated he is or how happy space he is in.
Right.
That changes the sound of time.
Okay. Yes.
It does happen. Yes.
Does it really happen?
It has many times happened.
Oh, okay.
Then it depends on how prepared or how rehearsed is the band.
Okay.
Because I have done a lot of fusion gigs where the artists don't even meet each other. I'll tell you what happens is they come for a sound check and they are rehearsing there. So that time goes into rehearsing. Nobody checks what he is getting or he is comfortable or not. They'll set their tihais, they'll set their what you will do this, you will do that, and during the show they are doing sound check. This happened with me many times, so I know. I have seen this. So the only thing I can do is
seen such programs.
Only thing I can do is wait for them to finish rehearsal and then ask them, "Are you comfortable? Can you please check?" The biggest thing the biggest mistake a classical artist I've been doing or I have seen being done is this was a very 11 was the date. And somebody in South India thought of getting 11 top musicians of India, top classical musicians of India, and Sivamani was one of them. And I was doing sound check for Sivamani. Because I was there for 3.5 hours, I saw each artist come out of rest of the 10 artists. They come, do their sound check and go, do their sound check and go, do their sound check and go. And then when they actually came together, they were supposed to perform together. Nobody could hear each other. But I knew the situation, so whenever everybody was coming, I was asking the other sound engineer to send their signal to my signal so that I could send him to Shiva.
Correct.
Sivamani could hear everything, everybody else couldn't hear anything. So that also happens.
So now coming to you, as what would you see or what would you say as an ideal sound check from, like what would you expect from the band because finally whatever you are doing is for them.
Yes, correct.
You are doing all this for fundamental reason that the music they are creating on stage should be heard by the audience at its best possible way.
Yeah. And for that to happen, artists have to be comfortable.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, acha, correct.
Both things.
Right. Yeah. So what do you expect, would you say that is a good way of doing a sound check or going through the entire sound for a band?
Basically, I'll tell you one, there is a difference between Indian artists and artists who come from abroad who have gone to an institute to learn music.
Okay.
There's a huge difference. I have seen this.
Okay.
The reason being, I have heard this, that they are also taught stage discipline, which is completely lacking in India. That's where, I mean, I'd like to promote and talk to musicians and tell them this, because I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, is there has to be a discipline. I'll tell you an example, what difference does it make. I was doing a Swedish band called AK-47. They were with a punk rock artist called Paul Diano. I was doing that gig in Shillong.
Oh yeah.
So 4 of them came, they tuned their instruments, they checked everything, and there was silence on stage.
Okay.
We are ready for the sound check. That's what I heard from the vocal mic. So I said, can I hear the kick? That is the only time I heard kick. Dick, dick, dick. There was no phone call. There was no talking to each other. Till the time I said, I'm good with it, the kick was on.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. And just the
Not
kick.
even
and
from the drummer.
with a constant beat, he was going on for 1.5 minutes or whatever. I was tuning it inside. I was sending it to him. And everything that was happening. Is it good on your monitors? Yes. But this didn't stop.
Oh, okay.
He continued playing. Thank you. Can I hear the snare? Ta, 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 ta. Kick was stopped.
Okay.
So only the guitarist's volume was down, his amps were down. Everybody was standing looking at me. I finished the sound check in 30 minutes because once the drum kit was set, I am sending it to guitar monitors. I started sending it, he was looking at me. So he's constantly listening to what is happening and he was telling me, yes, correct. I was putting snare up, good. Hi-hats, up, down. So there was a constant communication. The moment I finished, are you comfortable? Yes. Next one I move to, then so basically it starts with a drum kit. Drummer is comfortable, then I send drum kit to all the artists on stage so that they hear drum kit at the level they want.
Okay.
So they have to communicate to me that this is correct. Somebody wants snare more, somebody wants hi-hats more. So, but there is a communication. They are all focusing on the sound check itself. When I said drum kit is fine, can I hear the guitar? Gig. He had set it up. Next patch, everything was in line, levels. All that he needed to do, his work he has done perfectly and he was ready for me.
Okay. So when the guitarist was there on stage, he was not fooling around.
As soon as he came, he set it up,
correct.
all that and volume down.
Achha.
And he was standing with his hands folded, no phone in his hand. That's another enemy. Anyway, so then the same thing with drummer, bassist, whatever.
Correct.
And the sound check was finished in 30 minutes, flat. So that's the discipline. And cut to undisciplined band. Drum kit is playing, the keyboard is trying his patches. And when can I hear the bass guitar? The bass guitar is not on stage. If at all he's on stage, he's doing selfies or he's putting something on the social media. Yeah, one sec. Then he'll go, let me tune. He's not even tuned it. The first job of I'm just saying, giving you different examples. What all can be.
You are describing probably a college band and an amateur band.
I am not. If I was, this is the case. A lot of bands I have seen. Nowadays with social media, everybody, as soon as they get on stage, they want to post something right away. The drummer will not reach the drum kit till the time he has posted something that he is there now. So this is the case.
Okay.
So that adds to the overall sound check time.
Right.
And then there are artists who don't come for sound check. But there are
whatever.
Yeah, but there are artists at this level also they'll come for sound check. So discipline, the importance of sound check for them to be comfortable. There are artists who come directly on the concert and from behind they'll tell me in ear mein ye badhao, upar niche karo, whatever. So different kinds. So that's every day is a different day. Every band is different. Everybody behaves differently.
Right.
So in all that, making everybody comfortable without very patiently, without losing your temper, and seeing to it that nobody is on stage loses temper. So all that depends on how fast you can give them what they want. Okay. And that depends on how clearly it is communicated at the end of it.
And how well they know what they want.
Yeah, that is also part of it. Yes.
So to summarize in at least a part of it, you said that an ideal case for a band sound check is that musicians come on stage. You, of course, not from your side because you are already ready with prepared with whatever you told me all preparation for a day or two or week. But when at the actual sound check, they are on stage. They set up their instrument and keep quiet.
Yes.
They give full attention.
And they don't leave the stage. They stay there.
They stay there and they don't like, they give full attention to you or the sound
sound
engineer
check.
and the sound check, and then whatever the way the sound engineer is telling them to do, they are doing it.
Yes.
And at the end, probably you will get all the band together. And how does that work?
Then once everybody is comfortable with whatever they are hearing, then they will do a couple of songs.
Okay, so you want them to play 2 or 3 songs?
Absolutely.
Full songs,
because
like 10-15 minutes of full band sound check.
Because full bands, unless that is done, because there are different kinds, the dynamics change. There are some very heavy numbers, there are some very soft numbers. So my compression has to be checked.
Okay.
So they are all comfortable with that, because if the drummer starts playing very loud, the whole balance will change.
Right.
So they have to check for loud sounds, they can hear, or they need any tweaks outside. If I need any tweaks outside, and they need inside.
Yeah.
So all that is done. Another thing which I do is the first song they are going to do normally is the last song I check before they go off stage.
Okay.
Which helps me and them to come to that song and feel correct when they come for the first song.
Okay.
With couple of bands it happened earlier. This is again, I have learned everything. I have not gone to a school, so I have learned everything by making mistakes. So I did a sound check for one band where they were jamming and playing some nice stuff, and everything sounds good and we are very happy. They leave the stage, they come for the show, their song, they sing is completely different than what they were playing. So which was 10 times louder, and everybody is singing, which they have not checked at all.
Okay.
So I started doing that as a practice. After the whole sound check, everybody is comfortable. Okay, for me, do half a minute of your first song that you are actually going to perform for the gig.
So this is something like very much you see or you tell in the studio. I have seen you like telling some sitar player or tabla player, they are coming, there are some very, very good, well-known tabla players, and they are playing some fantastic, like something which will be very difficult for others to play. And then you at one point to, okay, stop, and is that what you are going to play in the song? So you say like, no. Then you say, can you play that? And he's like,
the classic example I'll tell you. For a sound check, when a bass guitar walks in, can I hear the bass guitar? Okay, very nice. Are you going to play this in the show? No. Okay, play what you're going to play in the show. At the level you're going to play in the show.
So it is like level. From you kind of, you have to push them.
Yes. And which I expect them to understand and give me. Like this, what I call by discipline is this. Rehearsal time is at home. This is performance time. This is sound check and performance time. So focus your energies there.